When we talk about health, often our minds jump to the physical. We think about building strength, eating right, exercising, keeping our bodies in check. But what about our minds, our spirits, our hearts? What about the battles that don't show bruises on our skin or wear out our muscles? Mental health, it's an invisible weight that too many of us carry alone, silently. It's a weight we don't always know how to measure or even acknowledge. But I'm here to tell you loud and clear, it matters. It matters more than we sometimes dare to believe. Mental health is the bedrock, the foundation. It's not a side piece or an afterthought. It's the fuel that drives every action, every decision, every step forward in our lives. When you neglect it, ignore it, tell yourself that you're fine when you're not, you're setting yourself up for a breakdown. You're ignoring the most important part of who you are. You're abandoning the one thing you'll carry with you through every stage of life. But let's face it, prioritizing mental health doesn't always come easy. Society doesn't talk about it like it talks about physical health. You don't see headlines cheering on someone who's in therapy or headlines lauding the bravery of those who seek help. Yet facing your mental health, choosing to work on it, to nourish it, to take it seriously, that's courage. That's power. That's strength. I want you to imagine something right now. Imagine a house built on a weak foundation. Imagine it standing there beautiful and tall, admired by everyone who walks past. From the outside, it looks perfect. But deep down, its foundation is cracked, weak, ready to give way with the first hard hit. One storm, one strong wind, one heavy rain, and that house falls, it collapses. And no one knew. No one realized it was on the edge until it was too late. Now, tell me, how is that house any different from what many of us do every single day? We put on that brave face, the smiles, the I'm fine responses. We're experts at pretending, aren't we? We carry on as if nothing could ever bring us down. We think that pushing through again the cracks means we're strong. But real strength is knowing when to pause, when to take a breath, when to heal. Real strength is having the courage to say, I'm not okay, and that's okay. I want you to know this, you are not your struggles, but acknowledging them doesn't make you weak. When you choose to face your mental health, to take care of it, to prioritize it, you're doing the bravest thing anyone can do. You're choosing to face your own mind, your own fears, your own insecurities. And let me tell you, there's nothing weak about that. There's no shame in needing to pause, to regroup, to take care of yourself. There's no shame in reaching out for help and talking about what's weighing you down. Too often we're told to suck it up, to keep pushing, to be strong. But strength isn't about bearing every weight on your own. Strength isn't about hiding your pain. Strength is about learning to let go of what you can't handle alone. It's about finding the courage to ask for help. It's about letting yourself be vulnerable, because vulnerability is where true strength is born. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's power. It's the key to breaking the chains that hold you down. People talk about physical pain all the time. You break a bone, you go to the doctor. You catch a cold, you rest. So why is it that when we feel pain in our minds, in our hearts, we act as if it's not real? Why do we treat emotional wounds like they'll just heal themselves? Mental pain is real. Emotional wounds are real. They demand attention just as much as any physical injury. When you prioritize your mental health, you're choosing to respect yourself. You're choosing to take charge of your life, your emotions, your well-being. You're choosing to confront the very things that scare you, that make you feel small, that make you doubt yourself. You're saying, I matter enough to care for my mind. And that's powerful. That's life-changing. Life can feel like a marathon with hurdles everywhere. Some of those hurdles you'll clear with ease, but others will trip you up. They'll knock the wind out of you, leave you struggling to get back up. And in those moments, it's not your physical strength that will pull you through, it's your mind. It's the inner resilience that only comes when you've taken the time to care for your mental well-being. You are the keeper of your mind. You have the power to decide whether you're going to ignore the pain, push it aside, pretend it's not there, or whether you're going to face it, deal with it, and grow from it. There's no one-size-fits-all solution to mental health. It's personal. It's unique to each of us. What works for one person might not work for another. But the common thread is that every single one of us deserves to feel peace, to feel strength, to feel whole. When you start to prioritize your mental health, you're not just healing yourself. You're becoming a beacon for others. You're showing them that it's okay to face what's inside, to confront the shadows, to feel deeply, to be human. And in a world that often shuns vulnerability, that kind of courage is rare and needed. So many people go through life numb, detached, feeling like they're alone in their struggles. But they're not. We're all connected in our humanity. We all feel fear, doubt, sadness, anger. But those emotions, they don't define us. What defines us is what we choose to do with them. What defines us is whether we choose to prioritize our well-being or let the weight of the world crush us. Choosing to prioritize your mental health means choosing to live fully, to experience deeply, to be present in every moment. It means refusing to let past wounds dictate your future. It means acknowledging that yes, life is hard. It's messy. It's unpredictable. But you are stronger than you know. You have everything within you to overcome, to heal, to thrive. People will tell you that taking care of yourself is selfish. They'll make you feel guilty for putting yourself first. But remember this, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're running on empty, exhausted, worn out, how can you show up for anyone else? How can you be the person you want to be? Taking care of your mental health is not selfish, it's essential. It's the greatest gift you can give to yourself and to everyone around you. So right here, right now, make a promise to yourself. Promise that you won't ignore what's going on inside. Promise that you'll take the time to check in with yourself, to listen to your own heart, to care for your own mind. Promise that you'll prioritize your mental health no matter what life throws your way. Because when you do, you're unstoppable. When you do, you're tapping into a power that no storm, no setback, no obstacle can take from you. It's not easy, but nothing worthwhile ever is. It takes courage, grit, and a deep commitment to yourself. But you're worth it. Your mental health is worth it, and once you start to prioritize it, once you start to truly invest in your well-being, you'll see just how powerful you can be. You'll see that the strength you've been searching for has been within you all along. Prioritizing your mental health isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. It's about living a life that's full, rich, meaningful. It's about knowing that no matter what comes, you are equipped, you are resilient, and you are capable. So stand tall, face yourself, and choose to prioritize your mental health. Because when you do, you're choosing to live a life free from the shadows, a life where you are truly, deeply, alive. When you truly start prioritizing mental health, you're stepping into a new way of living. You're acknowledging the complexities, the highs and lows of being human. Life isn't just about existing, it's about feeling, connecting, finding purpose, and being fully present. And when we ignore our mental health, we're only skimming the surface of what life has to offer. We're surviving, but not truly living. You see, mental health is like the foundation of a house. It's what holds everything up, what gives structure and stability to everything else in our lives. Without it, everything starts to wobble. Relationships become strained, work feels overwhelming. Even simple daily tasks can feel like climbing mountains. And often we try to patch these things up with quick fixes, thinking we can push through, thinking we can ignore what's inside. But that's not living, that's barely holding on. It's time to stop pretending. It's time to stop running from what's within. Because let's face it, you can't outrun yourself. You can't escape the mind you carry with you. Wherever you go, whatever you do, that weight is still there. And no amount of ignoring it, no amount of pushing it down will ever make it go away. In fact, the longer you ignore it, the heavier it becomes. Like carrying a rock in your hand all day. At first you can manage, but as the hours pass, that rock feels heavier and heavier. Soon it's all you can think about. That's what happens when we ignore mental health. It only becomes more pressing, more demanding. But imagine, just imagine what life could be like if you chose to take that rock and set it down. Imagine if you chose to free yourself from carrying that weight. Imagine if instead of ignoring your pain, you decided to face it, to work through it, to heal. Imagine the peace, the freedom, the relief that could come. That's what prioritizing mental health can give you. Some people might say life is tough. Just get through it. They'll tell you that pain is part of life, that everyone has struggles, so why make such a big deal out of it? But here's the thing, pain may be a part of life, but suffering in silence doesn't have to be. There's a difference between enduring life's natural struggles and allowing those struggles to consume us. When we prioritize our mental health, we're not choosing a life free from challenges. We're choosing a life where we are better equipped to face them. We're choosing resilience, strength, and peace. You have the power within you to change your life. You have the power to confront the things that hold you back, to break free from the patterns that no longer serve you. It's not easy, no one ever said it would be. But the journey to mental wellness is worth every step. It's worth every tear, every hard conversation, every moment of vulnerability. Because on the other side of that journey is a version of yourself that is whole, strong, and free. This isn't just about you either. When you choose to prioritize mental health, you're creating a ripple effect. You're inspiring others to do the same. You're showing others that it's okay to feel, to struggle, to seek help. You're helping to break down the stigma that keeps so many people trapped in silence. And that's one of the most powerful things you can do. Because when one person stands up and says, I'm prioritizing my mental health, it gives others permission to do the same. Imagine a world where people feel free to be honest about their struggles. Imagine a world where we support each other, where we lift each other up, where we treat mental health with the same urgency and importance as physical health. That world starts with you. It starts with each of us choosing to prioritize our well-being, to break the silence, to end the stigma. It starts with the courage to say, I need help, or I'm struggling. It starts with the decision to take care of ourselves. Mental health isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's not something we can put off until later, something we can ignore until it becomes unbearable. It's something we have to tend to every day. Just as we brush our teeth, feed our bodies, and take care of our physical needs, we must also take care of our minds. And that means checking in with ourselves, being honest about how we're feeling, and not being afraid to reach out when we need to. Don't wait for a breakdown to start prioritizing your mental health. Don't wait for a crisis, for a moment when you feel like you can't take it anymore. Start now. Start before the weight becomes unbearable. Start while you have the strength to build yourself up, to fortify your mind, to create a foundation that can withstand the storms. Because yes, the storms will come. Life will test you. But when you prioritize your mental health, you're preparing yourself for those moments. You're building a reserve of strength that will carry you through. And let me tell you this, you are worth the effort. You are worth the time, the energy, the resources it takes to care for your mind. You are worth every bit of attention, every ounce of compassion, every moment of self-care. You deserve to feel peace. You deserve to feel joy. You deserve a life where you are not merely surviving but thriving. So make that choice. Choose to see mental health as essential, as vital, as something that deserves your full attention. Choose to see it as a journey, a commitment, a promise to yourself. And know that it's okay to stumble, it's okay to fall, it's okay to feel lost. What matters is that you keep going. What matters is that you don't give up on yourself. In the darkest moments when you feel like you can't go on, remember this: you've survived every hard day you've faced so far. You've gotten through things you once thought you couldn't bear. You are stronger than you think, braver than you know, and more resilient than you realize. And with each step you take toward prioritizing your mental health, you're building that resilience even more. So don't hold back. Don't let fear, shame, or doubt keep you from taking care of yourself. Don't let the opinions of others stop you from seeking what you need. This is your life, your mind, your well-being. And you are the only one who can make the choice to prioritize it. Every day, wake up and choose to be kind to yourself. Choose to listen to yourself. Choose to treat your mind with the respect it deserves. Life is too precious, too short, too fragile to live weighed down by burdens we refuse to face. So lay down those burdens. Set yourself free. And live a life that honors the full spectrum of who you are, the struggles, the strengths, the victories, the pain, the joy. Because all of it, every piece of it, is part of your journey. And you deserve a journey that brings you peace, purpose, and fulfillment. Choose to prioritize mental health, not just for today, but every day. And watch as your world transforms, as you begin to find strength you didn't know you had. As you start to feel truly alive, truly whole, truly you. Because that's what prioritizing mental health is all about. It's about coming home to yourself. And there's nothing more powerful, nothing more courageous than that. When you choose to prioritize mental health, you're giving yourself permission to be human. In a world that glorifies strength, productivity, and resilience, we sometimes forget that we are allowed to rest, allowed to feel, allowed to take care of ourselves. Our society has taught us to celebrate pushing through pain, to glorify endless endurance, as though ignoring our own needs is something to be proud of. But is that really strength? Is strength really about bearing every burden without a second thought? Or is it about recognizing our limits and respecting them? Is it about knowing when to step back, when to heal, and when to ask for help? To truly prioritize mental health is to acknowledge that mental and emotional wellness are not just afterthoughts. They are core to who we are, to our happiness, our relationships, our ability to grow and connect. When we put mental health on the back burner, we're depriving ourselves of the richness of life, of the fullness of our own experiences. When we say we'll deal with it later, that we're fine or we'll manage, we're ignoring what we truly need. And without realizing it, we're diminishing our potential, shutting down the parts of ourselves that need the most attention. We're sometimes afraid of what we might find if we look too deeply within ourselves. But prioritizing mental health isn't about facing something terrifying. It's about facing ourselves with kindness, with patience, with understanding. It's about embracing every part of who we are, the good, the difficult, the vulnerable, and the imperfect. It's about realizing that we don't have to be perfect to be worthy, that we don't have to have it all together to be deserving of peace and happiness. Imagine a life where you feel fully at ease with yourself, where you wake up each day feeling calm, centered, and ready to face whatever comes. Imagine not feeling weighed down by lingering anxieties, by the fears you've buried, by the doubts you carry in silence. This isn't a fantasy. This can be your reality when you start to prioritize mental health. It's not a quick fix, it's a journey. But with each step, you get closer to that life of peace, of fulfillment, of true happiness. Think about the people in your life, those you love, those who rely on you, those who care about you. When you don't take care of your mental health, it doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone around you. The people you care about feel your stress, your pain, your struggles. They see it in the moments when you're distant, when you're overwhelmed, when you're just not fully there. Taking care of your mental health is a gift not just to yourself, but to everyone who loves you. When you're at your best, you can show up fully for the people who matter most to you. You can be present, engaged, loving, and supportive in ways that are deeply meaningful. And when you think about it, prioritizing mental health isn't just about fixing what's wrong, it's about enhancing what's right. It's about bringing joy, gratitude, and mindfulness into your daily life. It's about becoming so aware of yourself that you don't need to search for happiness outside, you can find it within, no matter what's going on around you. It's about building resilience, a kind of inner strength that allows you to handle life's challenges with grace and courage. When you prioritize mental health, you're not avoiding life's storms, you're preparing yourself to weather them. You're building a foundation so solid that no matter what comes your way, you can handle it. You can stand strong, grounded, calm, and resilient. Let's talk about self-compassion. So many of us are our own worst critics, holding ourselves to impossible standards, constantly judging ourselves for what we think we should be. But self-compassion is essential for mental health. It's about being as kind to yourself as you would be to a friend. It's about recognizing that you are human, that you will make mistakes, that you will have days when you struggle. And instead of beating yourself up, you choose to comfort yourself, to encourage yourself, to remind yourself that it's okay to be imperfect. Self-compassion isn't weakness, it's the strength to love yourself even when things are hard. To prioritize mental health means to open yourself up to vulnerability. It means admitting that you don't have it all together, that you have insecurities, fears, and wounds. And that's okay, we all do. Vulnerability is where growth happens. It's in those moments when we're honest with ourselves, when we let down our guard, that we truly start to heal. By embracing vulnerability, you're giving yourself permission to feel deeply, to be fully human. You're allowing yourself to let go of the mask, to show up as you truly are. And when you do that, you inspire others to do the same. You create a safe space for others to be vulnerable too, to share their own struggles, to find support and compassion in your presence. Imagine how powerful it would be if we all prioritized our mental health. Imagine a world where people felt free to talk about their struggles, where we supported each other with empathy, where we lifted each other up instead of judging or shaming. That world begins with each of us. It begins with our choice to prioritize mental health, to create a culture of openness, acceptance, and compassion. It begins with you, with your decision to take care of yourself. Mental health isn't a destination. It's an ongoing process, a lifelong commitment. Some days it will feel easy. Other days it will feel like a struggle. But every day it is worth it. Every day you're choosing to live a life that's whole, a life that's filled with purpose, a life where you are fully, authentically yourself. And in a world that often tries to mold us into something else, that's the bravest choice you can make. You are not alone. You are part of something larger, something powerful. When you choose to prioritize mental health, you're not just helping yourself, you're helping to create a world where mental wellness is valued, where people are free to be vulnerable, where everyone has the chance to heal. And that world, it's worth every effort, every tear, every moment of courage. So take a deep breath, stand tall. Choose to prioritize your mental health. Choose to be fully, authentically alive. Because this is your life, and you deserve to live it to the fullest. You deserve to experience joy, peace, connection, and fulfillment. You deserve to feel strong, resilient, whole. And by choosing to prioritize your mental health, you're making that possible. You're choosing a life of freedom, a life where you are no longer held back by fear, doubt, or pain. You're choosing to live a life that is truly yours. Embrace that choice, embrace the journey, and know that every step you take is a step toward a brighter, stronger, more fulfilling future. You are worth it. Every bit of it. So don't hold back. Live fully, feel deeply, and let yourself be the person you were always meant to be. This is your journey, your life, your story. And by prioritizing mental health, you're writing a story of courage, resilience, and unwavering strength. The path to prioritizing mental health is not a straight line, not an easy road. It will take time, courage, and resilience. There will be days when you'll feel like you're moving mountains, breaking barriers within yourself you never thought you could. And there will be days when it feels like you're just hanging on. But that's all part of the journey. The highs, the lows, the triumphs, and the setbacks, they're all part of this process of healing, of growth, of transformation. With each step forward, each challenge faced, you're becoming more whole, more resilient, more capable of embracing life in all its fullness. Choosing to prioritize mental health is choosing to honor yourself in a world that doesn't always understand. And it's choosing to say, I matter. My peace, my joy, my well-being matter. And when you make that choice, you're setting a new standard, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. You're showing that it's okay to care for yourself, to set boundaries, to rest, to seek help, and to admit when you're struggling. You're teaching others that self-care is not selfish but necessary, that seeking support is not weakness but wisdom, that listening to your inner needs is not indulgence but strength. Think about what it means to live fully, to be able to feel joy without guilt, to experience peace without fear, to connect with others without the weight of self-doubt and insecurity. When you prioritize mental health, you're working toward that kind of life, a life where you're no longer running from yourself, no longer numbing your feelings or pretending to be okay. You're creating a life that's real, authentic, and deeply fulfilling. A life where you are free to be your truest self, free to love and be loved, free to live without the chains of unspoken fears and unresolved pain. You are not meant to carry your burdens alone. You are not meant to live in silence, hiding your struggles, pretending to be okay when you're not. You are meant to live fully, deeply, joyfully. And that begins with the choice to prioritize your mental health. This journey will demand courage, patience, and strength. But remember, you are not alone. There is a world of people who understand, who have walked this path, who have faced the darkness and found their way to the light. By choosing to prioritize your mental health, you're joining a movement, a community, a family of people who believe in the power of healing, the beauty of self-care, and the importance of being whole. So as you take this step, know that you are taking back your power. You are choosing to live, truly live with purpose, with joy, and with freedom. This is your journey, your life, your chance to be everything you were meant to be. Embrace it with open arms, with an open heart, and with the unwavering belief that you are worthy of happiness, peace, and love. And remember, every day is a new opportunity to prioritize your mental health, to take another step toward healing, to find strength you didn't know you had. Some days will be easier than others, but every single day is a step forward. Every day is a reminder that you are more resilient, more powerful, more capable than you realize. You are here, you are alive, and you are worthy of all the joy, peace, and love this life has to offer. So keep going, keep growing, keep believing. This is not the end of your journey, it's only the beginning. And as you move forward, may you carry this truth with you always. You are worth the effort. You are worth the journey. You are worth the peace that comes from healing. Now, take a deep breath, look within, and choose to live fully. Choose to prioritize your mental health. Choose to be everything you were meant to be. This is your life, your journey, your story, and you are the hero who is capable of overcoming, of thriving, and of living a life that is truly and deeply fulfilled. Go forward with courage, with hope, and with the unwavering belief that you are worth it.